What if 20 things your household depends on from Costco are quietly being pulled from shelves right now, and you have less time than you think to do anything about it? That is not a headline designed to scare you. That is the reality heading into 2026. 20 Kirkland and Costco private label products are being discontinued, and the reasons behind each one are more complicated than anyone is admitting publicly. Some are gone by January, others vanish by summer, and a few of them, when you hear the actual reason they are being pulled, are going to genuinely catch you off guard. This is not about Costco struggling. This is about global supply chains fracturing in very specific ways, and Costco making calculated decisions to cut rather than compromise on quality or dramatically hike prices on members. When a company like Costco walks away from a best-selling item, something serious is happening behind the scenes. Stick with this all the way through because the final few products on this list are the ones most people will never see coming. Product 1 is Kirkland Signature butter, the kind that comes in 4 1-pound blocks all tucked into one box, priced at just under $12. This product is disappearing in March of 2026, and the reason is a dairy industry shakeup that started quietly but is now accelerating fast. 3 of the 5 major suppliers that provide Kirkland with bulk butter are in the middle of a merger. The new consolidated company came back to Costco with pricing demands that Costco flatly refused to accept. Rather than absorb the increase or pass it to members, they are cutting the product entirely. What replaces it will be name brand butter at significantly higher price points. The good news is that butter freezes beautifully. Store it properly in a deep freezer and it holds quality for up to 18 months to 2 years without any meaningful degradation. If you rely on this product, the window to act is now. Product 2 is Kirkland Signature Organic Olive Oil, 2 liters for around $25. That price is going away by January of 2026. The Mediterranean olive harvest is in serious trouble. Spain, Italy, and Greece are producing roughly 30% less than their normal yields due to climate disruptions that have compounded over several growing seasons. Costco has been working to hold quality and price together, but the math no longer works. The organic line is being discontinued. After it is gone, comparable organic options at Costco will likely run close to $45 for the same volume. Olive oil quality varies enormously. Cheap alternatives are often blended with lower grade oils or have already begun to oxidize before you crack the seal. Stored in a cool, dark location away from heat, quality olive oil holds its integrity for up to 2 years. The time to buy down your future cost is before the supply dries up. Does that pattern sound familiar yet? Supply disruption, followed by pricing pressure, followed by discontinuation? Because that pattern shows up again and again on this list. Product 3 is Kirkland Signature Mixed Nuts, the large container loaded with cashews, almonds, pecans, and Brazil nuts, typically around $15 at the end cap. Gone by February of 2026, and not because demand is low. These move fast. The problem is multi-layered. Brazil nuts are facing export restrictions at the source. Cashew prices have roughly doubled after a series of poor harvests in Vietnam. Pecans are battling a fungal disease spreading through orchards in the American South. Rather than reformulate the blend with cheaper substitutes or spike the price, Costco chose to remove the product entirely. Mixed nuts are nutritionally dense, require zero preparation, store for months in a sealed container, and provide substantial calories and protein per ounce. As a pantry staple and as a backup food source in any kind of disruption, mixed nuts punch well above their weight. Stock what you can before February. Product 4 is Kirkland Signature Protein Bars, the chocolate chip and chocolate brownie varieties, 20 bars per box for about $24. These are disappearing in April of 2026. The cause is a supplier contract dispute. The manufacturer producing these bars for Kirkland requested a 40% price increase driven by rising costs for whey protein and cocoa. Costco refused and chose to exit the product rather than pass that increase to members. Right now, each bar costs roughly $1.20. The equivalent name brand protein bars at Costco already run $2.50 to $3 each. After discontinuation, that is your entire option set. Each bar carries 21 grams of protein and holds up for 12 months from production. Most product on shelves still has significant shelf life remaining. If protein bars are part of your regular routine, buying in volume now is straightforward math. Product 5 is Kirkland Signature Organic Tomato Sauce, the 8-can pack for about $10. This one is leaving shelves in January of 2026. California's organic tomato supply is under serious stress from extended drought and new water use restrictions. The farms supplying Costco have had to cut output by around 30%, and Costco cannot source enough volume to continue at current pricing. $10 right now buys 120 ounces of organic tomato sauce, roughly 8 cents per ounce. After discontinuation, organic alternatives at Costco will run about 20 cents per ounce. That's a 150% price jump for the same product category. Tomato sauce is the base for dozens of meals: pasta, soups, chili, pizza, casseroles, stews. Its acidity and canning process give it exceptional shelf stability. Properly stored cans remain at peak quality for 2 years or more. This one disappears in January, which means the window is already closing. Here is a question worth sitting with. How many of these products are in your pantry right now? And what is your plan when they are no longer available at this price? Product 6 is Kirkland Signature Honey, the 3-pound jug for about $12, gone by May of 2026. The global honey supply is in worse shape than most people realize. Bee population collapse has been accelerating for years, and legitimate honey is becoming genuinely scarce. The issue Costco ran into directly is adulteration. Suppliers trying to meet volume demands have been cutting pure honey with corn syrup and other sweeteners. Rather than risk selling an inferior product under the Kirkland name, Costco is pulling the line until they can establish reliable sourcing at the standard their brand requires. That process could take years. Real honey has an almost indefinite shelf life when stored sealed and away from moisture. It is antimicrobial, antifungal, and historically one of the most stable food preservation items ever documented. At $12 for 3 pounds of authentic honey, this is one of the highest value items on this entire list to secure before it disappears. Product 7 is Kirkland Signature Bacon, 4 1-pound packages for about $18. This is one of Costco's highest volume sellers, which is what makes this discontinuation so striking. 3 major processing plants that supply pork to Kirkland are shutting down. Labor shortages and rising regulatory compliance costs have made operations unworkable for those facilities. The suppliers still operating cannot meet Costco's volume demands at pricing Costco will accept. Starting March of 2026, Kirkland bacon is gone. Bacon freezes well. Vacuum-sealed packages go straight into the freezer and hold quality for up to 6 months without issue. Buy what your freezer space allows before March arrives. Product 8 is Kirkland Signature Organic Peanut Butter, the 2-pack of 28-ounce jars for about $10, discontinuing in February of 2026. The organic peanut supply is tightening because of drought conditions across major growing regions in the American Southeast and parts of South America. Organic certification costs are simultaneously rising, squeezing margins from 2 directions at once. After discontinuation, comparable organic peanut butter options at Costco will run closer to $18 to $20 for the same volume. Dried pasta holds for up to 3 years stored in a cool, dry environment. It is one of the easiest items to stockpile and one of the most versatile. If pasta is a weekly staple in your household, buying ahead now is a direct hedge against a significant price jump. Product 11 is Kirkland Signature Organic Maple Syrup, the 32-ounce jug for about $13, gone by April of 2026. Canadian maple production took a significant hit over the last 2 seasons because of inconsistent freeze-thaw cycles that maple trees need to produce sap at volume. The organic certified supply is even more constrained than conventional. After discontinuation, comparable organic maple syrup options will likely run $25 to $30 for the same size. Properly sealed maple syrup holds for up to 4 years in a pantry and indefinitely when frozen. If you cook with maple syrup regularly, this is one of the higher impact losses on the list. Product 12 is Kirkland Signature Organic Almond Butter, the 27-ounce jar for about $12, discontinuing in May of 2026. California almond growers are facing water allocation cuts under new state regulations. Organic almond production is down and the cost per pound is climbing. After discontinuation, premium almond butters at comparable retailers will run $18 to $25 for a similar size.
Sealed jars last up to a year and a half. Open jars hold 3 to 5 months refrigerated. If almond butter is part of your daily routine, the time to build your reserve is before May. This is the midpoint of the list, and we are not close to done.
Every single product pulled so far has the same underlying logic. Climate disruption, supply consolidation, or regulatory cost pressure forcing Costco to choose between quality and continuity. And they are choosing quality every time, even when that means the product disappears entirely. Product 13 is Kirkland Signature Organic Brown Rice, the 15-pound bag for about $14, discontinuing in April of 2026. Organic rice growing in California is being hit hard by water restrictions and rising energy costs for irrigation systems. Yields per acre are falling. Costco cannot source the volume they need at current pricing. After discontinuation, comparable organic brown rice options will cost considerably more per pound. Brown rice stored in an airtight container in a cool, dry space holds quality for 18 months to 2 years. In a large sealed bucket with oxygen absorbers, it holds significantly longer. Rice is a foundational carbohydrate for an enormous percentage of global meals. Buying this in bulk ahead of April is one of the more practical decisions on this entire list. Product 14 is Kirkland Signature Organic Oats, the 10-pound bag for about $9, gone by March of 2026. More than 60% of Costco members purchase this product or something like it regularly. Organic oat production is under pressure from flooding in the upper Midwest and drought in the Canadian prairies, which together represent the bulk of North American organic oats supply. After discontinuation, comparable organic oats will run significantly higher per pound. Oats stored in sealed containers in a cool location hold quality for well over a year. Sealed and kept below room temperature, they extend even further. Baking with quality chocolate chips is one of those small household pleasures that compounds over time. $14 right now versus $30 after March is a decision that makes itself. Product 17 is Kirkland Signature Organic Coffee, the 3-pound bag of whole beans for about $18, discontinuing in May of 2026. Coffee-growing regions in South America and East Africa are experiencing the cumulative impact of frost damage, irregular rainfall, and extended drought. Organic yields are taking the hardest hit because organic farms have fewer intervention tools during weather stress. After discontinuation, premium organic whole bean coffee at comparable retailers runs $30 to $35 for the same weight. Coffee beans stored in an airtight container in a cool, dark location hold quality for 6 months to a year. Frozen in sealed bags, they can last up to 2 years without meaningful flavor loss. If coffee is a daily non-negotiable in your household, this is one of the most financially impactful items on the list to address now. What would your daily routine look like if this item doubled in price overnight and you had no alternative lined up? Product 18 is Kirkland Signature Organic Quinoa, the 4-pound bag for about $12, leaving shelves in April of 2026. Bolivia and Peru are the 2 dominant sources of commercial quinoa, and both are reporting crop failures tied to irregular precipitation and temperature swings at altitude. Export costs from those regions are also climbing due to fuel and logistics pressures. After discontinuation, comparable organic quinoa will cost $25 to $30 for 4 pounds. Quinoa stored in a sealed container in a cool, dry environment stays fresh for 2 to 3 years. It is a complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids, making it uniquely valuable for plant-forward eaters and as a foundational protein source in long-term pantry planning. $12 for 4 pounds of organic quinoa from a reliable source is a window closing in April. Product 19 is Kirkland Signature Organic Chia Seeds, the 2-pound bag for about $10, discontinuing in June of 2026. Global demand for chia seeds has grown faster than production can scale. The primary growing regions in Mexico and parts of South America have not expanded enough to meet the volume being requested. Prices at the supplier level are rising, and Costco has decided to exit the product rather than pass the increase forward. After discontinuation, comparable organic chia seeds at health and grocery retailers will run $20 to $25 for the same weight. Chia seeds stored in a sealed container in a cool, dry pantry maintain quality for 2 to 3 years. They are dense with omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, protein, and antioxidants, and they contribute meaningfully to satiety in small servings. $10 for 2 pounds is a price point worth locking in before June.
Product 20 is Kirkland Signature Organic Coconut Water. The 12-pack of 11-ounce bottles for about $15, going away in March of 2026. Coconut water supply is experiencing a structural problem, not just a temporary disruption. The coconut farms in Thailand and the Philippines that supply most of the commercial coconut water market are producing less because of labor shortages and the natural aging of existing tree stock. Replanting takes years before new trees produce at volume. The supply gap is widening and will not correct quickly. After discontinuation, comparable coconut water packs at other retailers will run $25 to $30 for the same quantity. Unopened bottles hold for about a year, stored in a cool, dry place. Coconut water is one of the most efficient natural sources of electrolytes available, and it serves as practical hydration support during illness, physical exertion, or any period when clean fluid intake needs to be prioritized. $15 for 12 bottles is a price point worth locking in before June. Product 20 is Kirkland Signature Organic Coconut Chips, the 12-pack of 2.1-ounce bags for about $15, going away in March of 2026. Coconut water supply is experiencing a structural problem, not just a temporary disruption. The coconut farms in Thailand and the Philippines that supply most of the commercial coconut water market are producing less because of labor shortages and the natural aging of existing tree stock. Replanting takes years before new trees produce at volume. The supply gap is widening and will not correct quickly. After discontinuation, comparable coconut water packs at other retailers will run $25 to $30 for the same quantity. Unopened bottles hold for about a year, stored in a cool, dry place. Coconut water is one of the most efficient natural sources of electrolytes available, and it serves as practical hydration support during illness, physical exertion, or any period when clean fluid intake needs to be prioritized. $15 for 12 bottles is a price that disappears in March. That is 20 products, 20 Kirkland and Costco items being quietly pulled from shelves between January and June of 2026. Some of them are going because of supply chain fragmentation that has been building for years. Others are going because Costco refuses to let quality slip or pass dramatic price increases to members. In every case, the result for you as a shopper is the same. The price point you have relied on is ending, and the window to do anything about it is measured in weeks, not months. This is not about panic buying or irrational hoarding. This is about using accurate information ahead of the crowd to make deliberate, strategic decisions about products your household actually uses. Every item on this list has a storage life that extends well beyond its discontinuation date. That means buying ahead is not waste. It is forward planning with real financial return. If you stock up on even half of these 20 products in volume appropriate to your actual usage, the savings compared to replacement pricing add up to real money, not a rounding error. Real money staying in your household budget instead of evaporating into price increases driven by global disruptions you had no part in creating. Here is what to do with this information. First, go through this list and mark the products your household uses regularly. Not every item applies to every family. Prioritize the ones that genuinely matter to your daily routine. Second, check your local Costco now, not next week, because several of these discontinuations begin in January and February, and inventory will not be restocked once it runs out. Third, buy based on your actual consumption and your realistic storage capacity. Do not buy 20 jars of something you use 3 times a year. Do buy 6 months of something you go through weekly. The timing matters enormously here. By the time these discontinuations hit the general public in the form of empty shelves, the planning window will already be closed. The advantage of knowing now is the ability to act now, before inventory gets cleared, before social media runs the story, and before the replacements show up at prices that make you wish you had moved sooner. If this was useful, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below and tell which products on this list matter most to your household. Sharing this with anyone in your family or circle who shops at Costco regularly is one of the most genuinely practical things you can do with this information today. The clock on several of these is already running. January is not far away. The products that disappear first will be gone before most people even hear about it. You are not most people. You have the information.